Canfin Homes reported a 9% drop in its net profit, while disbursements during the quarter were flat compared to last year. Shefali Malik spoke to SK Hota, the managing director of the company, and began by asking him about the current liquidity crisis impact on quarterly performance. Listen in.
Liquidity issue has never been there for Canfin, nor it is there now. As far as the quarter 4 PAT growth is concerned, this is because of the change into a 15 and Ind AS. Then there was some impact on account of your some one-time expenses during quarter 4 that has been booked. There are 2-3 changes during the Ind AS migration, if you recollect. Last time also we had discussed. But there is a major shift is the entire processing fee which was being booked during the current year that has been amortized. So over the entire loan life of the asset. So what has happened is under fee income, if you see, there is a drastic drop to the extent of around 25, 26 crore or 30 crore close to during the year. So the quarterly numbers as well has been realigned for quarter 3, quarter 2 and quarter 1 and the last year's quarter 4. That is where the it looks little obviated. Otherwise, if you see the yearly numbers, if you see even the quarterly PBT, there is a positive growth. The one-time expenditure, something related to the previous period expenses, that is one was still regarding the tax expenses, something disputed were there that we wanted to clear it off. That impact is around 8.76 crore, which has come in this particular numbers. And then additional CSR expenses, which is bunched normally the quarter 4, the branches used to spend the entire amount, whatever is left over their quota. So that is how quarter 4 numbers looks muted. But as far as the NII growth is concerned, as far as the PBT growth is concerned, if you see, there is a good positive. And we are not worried about really the quarterly PAT number. And it can be very well deciphered if you see the tax to the PBT ratio. It is coming something like 42.5, which is for quarter 3 numbers. If you see, it will be around 34.9. The 34.5, that should be the usual tax rate. So that answers why PAT is looking muted, minus 9% if you told. As far as earnings are concerned, yes, the very strong positives that we look in quarter 4 is we have been in a position to hold on to our costs, hold on to the margins by and large, and the growth has come back. Quarter 4, if you see the sequential number as well as the year-on-year number, the sanctions, disbursements as well as the loan book growth, that has been fairly good, which is really, I think, the first time after the demonetization, RERA, GST and all those impairments. And another big positive is the asset quality, which has improved in quarter 4. That is our gross income ratio as well as the net income ratio, both have dropped. Gross NPA has come down from 0.71 to 0.62. There is a 9 basis point drop. The net NPA has come down from 0.51 to 0.43. And even in absolute quantum, there is almost 10.5 crore, 11 crore reduction in the gross NPA.
So you say
that we are looking at, and few realignments in numbers I will tell you is as per the under the income tax provisions under section 36(1)(8) of IT Act, the DTL portion and special reserve which were being created earlier, that has been moved to equity, and that is why the ROE gets little depressed. Whereas the leverage ratio improves, our borrowing power improves. And because of the same reason I told you that the processing fee has been amortized over the entire loan life. And this being the first year, only 128, if you take the average tenor of asset is 20 years, then 128 has accrued to this year. Going forward in 4 to 5 years, even if we grant loans for 20 years, what happens is it gets prepaid in 5 years, 6 years time. So in the next 5-6 years time, it will start unwinding. So every next year, you will have an additional accrual. Suppose next year we'll have accrual for 2 years. This year's amortizing fee income will come as well as next year's will accrue. Third year will have for 3 years. Like that it will keep on going. And maybe after the 5th year, it will somewhere get averaged out.
So you say that growth has come back. So can you tell me from what kind of segments you're seeing this growth? And you have a target of achieving a loan book of about 40,000 crore rupees by FY22. So in this scenario, does it look realistic? Also, what I want to understand is, since you say that you have been relatively better placed, liquidity has never been an issue. Are you picking up business from which is being left by some of the other NBFCs as well?
There's a big no and categorical no. We have always told Campion wants to do business Campion's way only, and we never want to really get into any other segment. We are in the LIG and lower MIG formal segment primarily, and primarily to salaried class, and that continues. We have never changed the niche segment that we cater to, and nor we are looking at the other segments. One thing very positive is, during the current quarter, even Karnataka, that is our the home state, that has started giving good numbers in quarter 4. And for current year, we have already projected, we have given in our projections something like 24-25% growth. And that growth also we are anticipating that not that in quarter 1 or quarter 2 it is going to accrue. This is going to be by and large, the major chunk will come in second half. And we are expecting going forward, I think every quarter should be a better quarter compared to the previous. Now that monsoons are setting in, we don't see great numbers by September, but certainly the second half will be one of the finest half years. Yeah.
Right. So just one last question. As per reports, the NBFC sector, as we know, that it's going through a huge amount of stress, and there is a redemption pressure of almost 1.3 lakh crore rupees coming in this quarter as well. So what is your view on what the sector is going through? An industry veteran, Mr. Uday Kotak, just said 2 days back that it's a very turbulent time for the financial services industry. What do you have to say about it?
Yeah, when a veteran sticks and wants on these issues, essentially the market players are supposed to take you from that. And somewhere the prudence will prevail over the short-term gains. And one has to balance that how you want to grow, what sort of a loan book you want to have. It's more really as to what sort of asset you want to create. If you are creating an asset where the gestation period is too long and you don't have that sort of liabilities, then certainly you are going to get into issues. One thing which has played positive for Campion is we have not deviated from our core sector of retail individual housing loans. Still 90% of my book is individual housing loan, and the average ticket size is 18 lakhs, 18.5 lakhs. And even in the non-housing, what we have, those 10%, that is also purely retail individual loans and nothing bulk. So more than 1 crore loan on my book is something like 62 loans only. So that is where really what happens is, if you are playing in retail, if you stay focused at the retail in asset creation, then even if 1, 2, 3 loan there is a repayment issue, then your liquidity won't get affected. Another thing is, being a senior player, being there in the market for over 3 decades, our usual cash flows for companies like Campion and older companies, other older peers of ours, is very good. So every month, if my disbursement is something in the range of 450 to 500 crore, almost 350 to 400 crore I get back through normal cash flows. So the additional funds requirement for you is very small. If you're a new company, want to grow very fast, and in that case the cash flows are yet to start, in those cases because of the gestation period is still there, then one has to be a little careful. Liquidity is not an issue for players who are value-based, who are ethical, and where the balance sheet, Mr. Kotak has told again that you need to see the quality of balance sheet. The investors are choosing now, so you need to be, certainly liquidity is an issue if you are deviating from the fundamentals.